Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Connect 2021. We hope you're enjoying all of our talks and getting loads from it. I know I am. So our next product demo today, we are joined by Notify Technology. Now, Notify's smart health and safety software is simple to use, easy to set up, and highly customizable. Their mobile-first technology helps cut workplace risk and keeps workers safe, healthier, and more productive wherever they are in the world. Employees can report accidents and incidents in seconds. Managers can investigate, assign actions, and resolve issues, all done in real time. Notify's global mission to make 1 billion people safer at work. Put your questions in the box in the top right-hand corner of your screen, and I'll be putting them to Duncan Davies, CEO of Notify Technology, after the demonstration. Enjoy.
Hello, everybody. My name's Duncan Davies. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Notify Technology. Delighted to be with you today, and hello, wherever you are, to the Safety and Health Expo. So today I'm going to give you just a quick background on who we are, talk very briefly about what it is we do and why we do it, and then I'll show you how we do it through a quick run through of our product. So I'm going to firstly share my screen, see if we can get that bit working first. That'll be the first success. So I'm hoping that you can now see my screen. So I'll quickly introduce myself. And after the session, after this recording, I'll be around for any Q&A, any questions that you've got about our software or about our business. So as I said, my name is Duncan Davies. Co-founded Notify with Andy Dumbell, who wrote the system originally and is our Chief Product Officer, looks after the development of the Notify product. We started back in 2017, and we started because we're passionate believers in technology. So we're technologists at heart. We're not health and safety advisors, specialists, consultants. We do technology tools, and we believe that technology can help make workers safer, healthier, more productive wherever they are in the world. And we think that various bits of technology, some of which are well established now, like mobile devices and apps, but also technology that's around today, but is perhaps people aren't quite ready for, but things like machine learning, Internet of Things, big data, all kind of trendy techie words. But we believe in time that those will become additional tools for safety professionals to help them do their jobs better and to help their companies keep their workforce safer. So we set ourselves a challenging goal. We want to make 1 billion people safer at work, and I appreciate that's a big number. It's ambitious. The reason it's a big number is that in 15 seconds, somewhere around the world, a worker has been killed, and 153 more have been injured or made ill. That's according to a huge tragedy, a huge personal cost. The UN estimate it costs economically 4% of global GDP. So that's why we're doing what we're doing. I guess there are three things tend to see companies come to us about or for. So the first one here is digital transformation. So many companies still use pen and paper, and we help take them away from that manual process into a more digital world where there are workflows, there are alerts, there's automation, there are audit trails that don't get lost, get stuck on email, and can help them be more efficient and take less time to do things. Secondly, we know that our technology can help improve and develop safety cultures. So we see 5 to 10 times increases in safety reporting when companies use Notify. And I'll show you a little bit about why we think that is. Some of it is just making it really simple for people to engage. And some of it is about using technology tools to show them that you appreciate what they're telling you, help them see what you've done with what they've told you, and the improvements that they've helped generate in the safety side of your business. And that's a virtuous circle that you can create. And then the third side of what we tend to see is boards and indeed their investors coming to us, acknowledging that times are changing, that the era of people getting hurt at work and it being just one of the things that happens is no longer socially acceptable. Investors are now not putting money into businesses unless they can show that they take this safety compliance seriously. And consumers aren't wanting to buy from companies that use sweatshops to produce their clothing, for example. The millennials, the younger generations, are now much more socially aware, perhaps, than we were 10, 15, 20 years ago. And so we help build compliance assurance for boards by letting them see the data, letting them see work as done versus work as imagined. And we do that through technology, a platform that's web enabled, so it works on the web browsers, but also comes with apps that people can use anywhere in the world and don't even need to be online to use. They can use them offline, and then the app will synchronize. So it's cloud-based software that many people now are familiar with. And we designed Notify around the idea of plan, do, check, act. So I love that, the kind of building blocks around how safety can be managed efficiently. And I'll talk a bit more about that when I go through the demo. But basically, we've got modules that help you go all the way from assessing your risk, the plan side, through to checklists, audits to check stuff, through to inspections, alerts, action tracking for corrective actions, things that come off the back of audits, and then incident management. So tracking when things go offline, when things are not going as planned, to help you quickly understand what's going on. And then we back that up with dashboard capability. Simple dashboards for managers, on the ground operational site managers, supervisors, but also for senior managers and boards, what I'd call insightful dashboards that bring the data forward and to life, giving you your key metrics at a glance. And more and more, we're looking to use the data to provide insight back to our clients. So as you can see in this slide, we've got the top 10 near miss causes in the last period, to try and just help safety professionals not have to go digging too far to find out where their key issues are, because with finite resource, you want to go and look where you're going to have the biggest impact. So that's the kind of pitch about Notify and me. Hopefully that was useful. I'm now you've got my contact details. I'm sure you'll get them from Expo. I'm on LinkedIn, and tend to be a fairly regular poster. I really enjoy the safety platform and the safety community that's on LinkedIn. So I'm going to now flip to our technology. So this is the platform Notify Technology have built. I've described the modules already. So down the side, you've got the different modules available. What I'm going to quickly do to start this is just to show you one of the key elements, which is the ability to report a near miss accident, environmental incident, anything that you really want to report through both the web browser, which is what I've got up here, but also the mobile app. So I'm going to have to look at my other screen to do this properly for you. So I'm going to report an event. I'm going to do this quite quickly because I want to convey the speed at which your workforce can do this. And the way that Notify works is it's probably an important point to make is we charge customers for using the web portal, what we call the management portal, to interact with events, to manage things. But we don't charge anything because we don't believe that cost should be a barrier to safety engagement. We don't charge for anybody in your organization to report a near miss accident or any kind of event, positive observation, for example. They can do that for no cost, either through what I'm going to show you here on the web version or on a mobile app. And that mobile app is customized and branded to your organization. So it uses the vocabulary and the terminology and the phrases that your people would expect, and you manage that yourselves. Very much a key part of software as a service that we deliver is empowering clients to customize and configure themselves. So I'm going to report a near miss. It won't look as sexy on the web version as it will do on the app. And if we get a chance in the Q&A, I'm happy to put my mobile phone up and I can show you me doing the same thing on my phone. So I'm going to report this event. So I'm going to report a near miss, and you can define that as you like. I'm going to click next. It happened just now. I'm Bugs Bunny for the day. That's my email address. I can put my phone number in if necessary. And in case we're using a shared device, I can ask it not to remember who I am. Now I'm describing what happened. So I'm going to say that I've identified a slip hazard, and I get now an intelligence series of menus that will populate as I answer the previous questions. So in here, I've spotted some oil on the floor of my workplace. Nobody's tidied it up yet, cleaned it up yet, so it's still unsafe. I'm not very concerned, but it could cause a slip. In your ideal safety culture, I may well say it's not unsafe because I've just mopped it up myself and I've intervened. And again, you want to get that insight from people and build that culture. I can, as always, with good technology, add in some additional information. I can then tell you where in the organization this happened. So I'm going to choose that it happened in the Manchester warehouse. And what that does is it helps the platform point this information to the right person. So you can use different types of workflow to do that. But in this situation, the person that's responsible for the Manchester warehouse will receive an alert through email to tell them that something has been reported and they can go and look at it. I've got a map to locate my location. So for example, if I wasn't at a work site, if I was on the road or at a customer site, and you can imagine, hopefully, if I'm using a mobile device and I'm out on the road, I can just use my whatever my native maps application is in my mobile device to show you where I am. I can just do the good old-fashioned manual input. So multiple options there. And again, the ability to add information to tell you where exactly this happened. I can add pictures. I'm not going to do that because this is on my PC, but if I do that on my mobile device, I can either add from my gallery or I can take the photographs there and then. And if you look here, I can also add and annotate. So it's not just trusting that the person who gets the picture will know what's going on. I can write in here, it's the oil spill that you can see over in the far right-hand side of my photograph. And that's our lot. So I'm now going to not add a picture because I don't want to. So you can see it's somewhat idiot proof because it's giving me some alerts to tell me, do I really want to progress? And that's it. So I've got my report information here. If I decide I've got anything wrong, I can go back. Otherwise, I'm going to hit submit. And here you go. You've got some, again, pretty simple technology to help the reporter firstly feel a sense of I've contributed, so they get a thank you. If they've given you their email address, and we do allow permit the capability to have anonymous reporting, but if they've got an email address in there, they'll get an email thanking them. And throughout the process of investigating this particular near miss or incident, they will get alerts to tell them either feedback from the person investigating it, either thanking them or giving them some feedback. And at the end, they'll see what the closeout was, the conclusion of it. So they're always involved now in the event. So they have that sense of, I reported something, something was done with it, and I know what happened. And that's one of the key reasons why we think people then come back and report again and again. So that's our incident management platform. And I probably showed this briefly at the start, but when I come to report an event, I can report injury and ill health. That could be environmental incident, it could be mental ill health, it could be COVID related, it could be positive observations. And we're seeing quite a lot of people now wanting to look at the positive side of safety. So if I come back to some of the other bits and pieces, I'm not gonna kind of go through the whole platform in detail because I don't think you need to see me pressing buttons and showing you what clever things we do. So we've got tools, for example, for things like organization structure, which allow you to reflect on Notify. If you've got different sites or different business units or different divisions or even different countries, you can set Notify up to have different organizational structures that allow you to run a one-site business through to a global enterprise. And we have all the way from one-site businesses up to people like Travis Perkins, who have something like 2,000 sites around the UK using Notify, and all their sites will be populated within here. We've got a scheduling tool for audits. So I'll talk audits briefly. So our audits tool, again, comes with an app. You have the ability to build and develop your own audits and checklists. So that can be as simple as this is an opening up checklist or an on-site checklist to do first thing every day. That can be carried out by the person on site on their device, or it can be a much more in-depth safety audit, and that can go all the way through to, these are the standards that we need you to audit against. These are the ISOs that we're checking back to. It can include the creation of actions, and I'll come onto that in a second. And it can be exported to a PDF. So if that's something that then needs to be sent out with annotated photographs and the conclusion of the audit, we can deliver that. Actions, I think, is a really fundamental part of any system, really. And what we've done within Notify is we've built the action tracking module in the center of the platform. So we call it 360-degree action tracking. So a near miss or an incident can create an action on the back of the investigation that can go in. An audit could create an action on the back of the findings that goes in. Even a risk assessment, an action on the back of a risk assessment can get captured, and you can create an action in its own right. The critical thing is those actions are, if you like, intelligent in that once it's allocated to me, I'll get an email to let me know. If I've got 5 allocated to me, I can get a weekly, what we call digest email, which lists out my actions. If I've got any that are overdue, it'll tell me. It can escalate those overdue if you've got people who are perhaps regular offenders. And it can just help you manage and quickly see where you've got your challenges. And to show you that, I'm just going to go to our standard dashboard, which is kind of the basics of what we do. And just here, you can see the action tracker here. So this is dummy data, so I'd like to think I'm not this naughty, but here's my 116 overdue actions and my 2 that are due in the future. I've got 113 to do and 5 that I'm in progress on. And these dashboards are set at different levels in the organization. So I could see the company's action tracker if I was at the very top of the organization. If I was a site manager or supervisor, I could see the actions just for my site. That's a great way to help empower people to understand what they need to do next. Just on the dashboards, I'll finish on this really. We've got nice, simple, clean. Here are your trends. Here are your stats, your basic statistics to see as you log on. So this is designed for a manager and interactive, so I can click into these events and see what I need to pick up in detail. Beyond that, we also have more complex dashboards that we have for clients. So, for example, we have accident frequency rate dashboards that allow you, if you need to report accident frequency rates. So you can input your hours worked, your employee numbers, and get your AFR stats. And similarly, if you want to see trends over time for different types of incidents and accidents, we can deal with that too on near misses. So some AFR data here. And then if I click into my incident management dashboard, I'm going to finish on this because I suspect I'm over time, but this brings everything together. So I think my internet is somewhat slow this morning, but you can see the cogs turning. And here's the dashboard. So at a glance, statistics over different time scales, my top 10 categories, and my long-term trends. If I want to flip these round to see the status of my reports, I've got the ability to do that. If I want to drill into somebody could have been hit by a moving vehicle, I'm immediately into it was forklift trucks that I need to be worried about, and I can even drill through that right down to the very raw detail. So in 3 clicks, I can go from strategic overview of trends through to what's happening on the ground. So we work with lots of great companies, all sizes in multiple sectors, work collaboratively. We very much engage with our customers. We deliver what they ask us to build because for us that's easier. They define what tools they need and what changes they need, and we put that into the technology, and we release new versions of Notify every few weeks, every 8 weeks or so. And they go straight to all our customers. There's no upgrade or anything like that. It's just immediately available. I hope that was a useful introduction. I've had to skip through and pass across quite a lot of the things that we do, but hopefully that's given you a flavour, and I look forward to hearing your questions in a couple of minutes. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of Expo. Bye now.
Welcome back, and thank you so much to Notify Technology for a fantastic presentation. We hope you're enjoying the talks, and don't forget that any questions you've got, make sure you post them in the tab on the top right hand corner. Don't be shy, because I've got Duncan here live and ready to answer those questions. Duncan, it's great to see you. How you doing?
Thank you, Joe. Yeah, delighted to be here, and hello everybody in the virtual world out there. Hope you're all having a great event, and yeah, sun shining, all's good.
Yes, how can there not be? I hope people are sat outside watching this all, getting a little bit of sun. So I've got loads of questions coming in. Is there any CCTV integration in this software, and any way to link a camera stream?
Oh, that's a good question. So we can take files from many media that would include CCTV and add them into the Notify platform. So yes, we could deal with CCTV. To do a link would take a bit more work, but and I'd probably speak to someone in more detail, but we can definitely accommodate video in our system.
Great. And that's just a case of somebody coming to you to have an open conversation about their needs, and then you work out a proper plan for them on an individual basis, I suppose.
Yeah, we've set Notify up so that it can accommodate people saving files of all sorts of types in there. So photographs, Word documents, PDFs, and videos are a kind of file type that we can accommodate. So somebody could easily upload that today. If they wanted an integration, that would be more work. And yeah, that would be a conversation to have.
Fantastic. So is it the same in computer, desktop, and mobile?
No. So obviously, it's really important that a mobile device is not a computer desktop. So what we offer in terms of the mobile device is something which is more visually friendly, so easier to look at and use. There's less information shown because it's a smaller screen. Um, and also because you want it to be simple, because it's in someone's hands who's potentially out and about. So what we tend to do is have features that are required for the mobile device on the mobile, and then we add lots of other things that somebody using the web version can use. So that's they're the same product and the same software, but they respond very differently depending on which device somebody's on.
Fantastic. So if my overdue actions go a set period without being completed, sorry, does a report get sent to my line manager, for example?
It can do. We're kind of very conscious of culture. So I've got clients, for example, who don't have any reminders go out to people because they view it that people will be accountable and look themselves. I have others that have the emails switched on to go once a week, others that have them going daily, and then others that have them escalating if somebody doesn't respond in a certain time frame. But we do try and be sensitive to different cultures. Different organizations need slightly different. I guess the balance between carrot and stick is the difference.
It's great that it can be malleable like that, though. You must have had some great responses for, that adaptability.
Yeah, we do, and yeah, that's kind of a core part of what we've tried to build, is something where any customer coming on board with the platform can use it and kind of make the changes they want themselves. So, like, in the olden days when I was at Sage, you'd spend thousands of pounds getting the software set up for your business. With what we do now with modern software, it's so much easier to do a lot of it yourself and make it right for your company or organization.
Mm. Can risk assessments be exported as PDFs?
I can, and along with safe systems of work as well. If so, pretty much everything can be exported from the platform into PDF, Word, Excel, whatever.
So who can use Notify? Who would you say are the right companies to use it?
Well, good question. I mean, any company where somebody's at risk of harm, whether that might be physical or mental, um, there are obvious sectors that tend to sort of, I guess, manage safety more, every day. So like construction, manufacturing, but we've got clients in lots of sectors that you wouldn't necessarily think of as dangerous. So we've got telecommunications businesses, we've got the Royal Albert Hall, we've got some different customers in lots of sectors. I think the thing that binds them all is that they get that digital is a way of saving them time, and they get that that these demands about being able to show that you've done the right thing is becoming more and more important. So having a system that's digital allows you to show an audit trail that you did the right things at the right time. And I think that's probably the common denominator across all of our clients.
Fantastic. So can you have an ultimate user who can or maybe cannot edit information?
Yeah, so there are different types of users. So we call them user permissions. So all the way from what you might call the admin user who can see and do everything. Then you'll often have the board and senior directors and managers who can see the company but don't need to change things around. So they can see the dashboards, for example, all the way through to different permission levels. So you might have a site manager or supervisor, and she or he can see only their particular site. And then you might have a regional manager, and she or he could see the region, but not the next door region. So it's very much, again, because we built Notify to be hierarchical. As you set your hierarchies and as you set the user permissions, you can kind of get very much to getting the right person what they need to see and not seeing what they don't need to see.
Great stuff. So what does the software do with the data input? Where is it stored? And would it be GDPR appropriate?
Good question. Yeah, so I would love a bit of GDPR these days. So I guess the quick answer on that is we are the data processors, not the controllers, which to GDPR fans means that the data is not anything to do with us. What we do is we host our software and the client data with Amazon Web Services. So it's a fully hosted solution. Amazon is one of the top 3 hosting providers in the world. Their data centers are in Ireland, and they've got some in England as well. So we're very much aligned with EU and GDPR regulation there. And we don't go near the data. So our client, when we've set them up, when they log something, that goes to their part of Notify in the AWS cloud, to use a name. And that's their data to access for them. And we don't need to go near it, and we don't want to go near it. Quite honestly, we prefer to build software.
Yeah. Well, that's it's peace of mind, isn't it, as well, for people to know that their data is safe. So can you compare regions and pull reports to compare sectors?
Yeah. So at a company level, absolutely. I mean, it's always about data in. So we spend time with clients making sure that they're getting, it's almost begin with the end in mind. So we often start with, what do you want this to look like when you get it out to your board of directors? What do they want to see? And if their managers, are going to want to slice and dice between the Midlands and the North and the South, then we'll say, well, when you set up Notify, include those. And then when people report events, those are against the regions. And then it's as simple as saying, well, now show me the data for the North or the South, or we've got global clients, so it might be the UK or the US or Russia or whatever. So yeah, we can accommodate quite complex reporting through our dashboard capability.
Great stuff. So what kind of improvements have companies seen when moving to Notify?
So there's probably the biggie for most people is the engagement. So we talk a lot about customers coming to us when they've either got pen and paper or existing systems that you might call clunky. And because they're difficult to use, their employees just don't engage. They don't want to fill in the form or go to the site the website that they're using. So what we pride ourselves on is that engagement level. So we'll see companies see between 5 and 10 times increases in reporting rates. So at a great company up in the Northeast where I'm from, although you may not hear it, and they put Notify in. They went from 40 near misses in a year to 400 in 10 months. So 10 times increase just because it was simple to use and their people could report something really easily. I think the other side is just that data. So getting data to the board or the senior directors who can then really see what's actually happening in the business rather than thinking it's happening.
Fantastic. Well, Duncan, thank you so much for the presentation and also for doing the live Q&A with us. It's been really fascinating. Hope you have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Joe. Thanks, everybody.
And thanks so much, all of you, for joining us and all of your great questions this morning. If you want to find out more about the products discussed, you can book a meeting with Duncan or anybody from Notify from their exhibitor booth. Otherwise, we'll be back very soon at 12:30 with another product demo from Velocity EHS. We hope to see you there.